It's Gnome of the Month, Gnome of the Month, Gnome of the Month. Hello my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I am so happy to see you today. I hope that you are doing well, and I hope you and your loved ones are taking care of the best that you can. You might hear my cat meowing. I don't know if you can. Sometimes when I say that, I realize you can't when I'm going back and editing, but he is at the door and very unhappy with me. It is like 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. And I have the craft room door shut while I'm in here, and so he's like, excuse me, this is not the proper hours for me to not have access to you. So you guys might be noticing I am in a different place than usual. I'm sitting on the floor. I don't have a ring light on, so the lighting isn't going to be super great, at least, you know, not for details, but you guys can see the yarn a little bit more. My back is absolutely killing me. I cannot freaking sit on the floor, but I wanted to sit on the floor, so I'm doing it anyways. But it is Gnome of the Month. So if you are new here, welcome to my cozy little corner of YouTube. You can sit here on the floor with me, even if you're not able physically to sit on the floor. We'll just pretend you can virtually sit on the floor with me here in our cozy little corner. I am sitting on my rug I got on Temu that I've shown you guys. So it is nice and cushy at least. But if you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new here, welcome back, my Gnomie. Today is Gnome of the Month. So I told you guys that there was a good chance I was not going to get my gnome done. I did not get my gnome done. But I am here and in this different location because I am working on it. So I'm going to be working on this while I talk a little bit. So I told you guys I wanted to do a new mascot gnome because we did a mascot gnome already, and it was a galaxy gnome. And while I do love it, I just don't think it is quite befitting of a mascot gnome. I feel like a mascot gnome needs to be like a go big or go home moment. And let me show you. Oh wait, I put my mascot gnome up on top of there. He was sitting over behind me, my old mascot gnome. I was going to show you what he looked like, but you can see him on my channel if you want to. For one, you can just watch the Gnome of the Month playlist if you want to, but also if you just search my channel with the little magnifying glass icon, you can click that. It's on the main page, the main landing page of my YouTube channel. If you kind of go scroll over to the side, there'll be a little magnifying glass. If you just search channel mascot, mascot gnome, galaxy gnome, something like that, basically any of those, it'll bring it up and you can see that video. But regardless, so since it's not ready yet, I am going to tell you guys what the plan is. So what am I working on here? I'm working on a foot. Does this give you any idea of the size we might be looking at? So yes, that is when I was saying, I was kind of hinting at it all month, saying go big or go home, got to do something big, big, just yada, 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 kind of inserting that in there. But without telling you guys what my plan was. So what I'm planning on doing and what I'm working on doing is I want to make an absolutely massive gnome. I feel like for our channel here in the cozy little corner, in my normal setup, it would be so cool to have in the background, sitting here on my rug that you can see in the background of my videos now, because I'm kind of curating this perfect little cozy corner, to have a giant gnome. So I'm like, okay, we need to do the biggest gnome on YouTube. That's my goal. I don't know who has the biggest gnome on YouTube currently, but I'm thinking we got to do the biggest gnome on YouTube. What do you guys think? I think that's like really befitting of a channel mascot for us. So I am currently working on it. You guys want to see what this bad boy is looking like? This is going to be the body. It is absolutely ginormous. I don't know how I'm going to stuff this. I'm still kind of trying to come up with ideas for that. I'm thinking maybe thrift store pillows? I don't know, because this is probably going to be absolutely ridiculous to try to buy polyfill to stuff. But yes, so this is huge. I will also insert a picture I took of it sitting on my bed. I have this really giant Pikachu Squishmallow. I wish I knew how big the Pikachu Squishmallow was to give you guys like an idea of size. And then I also did take a picture earlier on in this project of it with a Coke can in it to give you guys like a good idea of size reference. So you guys can see kind of where we're coming from. So I'm going to give you guys an idea of what my plan is. I want to make this absolutely massive, but I also just want it to be super, super cool. So I kind of have some different things that I'm planning on doing. Let me get my project set back up properly because it was all twisted, and I'll work on this foot while I tell you guys. So I want to do a like customizable gnome that, not right away. Obviously, I'm not going to like start just pumping out outfits for it when I finish it, but gotta reposition my leg. There we go. Okay. So, what I'm thinking would be super cool is after it's done to be able to customize it like regularly. I want this to be a gnome that, doesn't need to be replaced or replicated or anything like that. I want it to be kind of a gnome that can grow with us and change with the seasons. So like if I want to make it a Halloween costume or a Christmas outfit or a spring outfit or whatever, you know, whenever the mood strikes, then it can be customized. So what I'm doing is I am currently using all of my blanket yarn. That is my plan, is I literally gathered up all of my blanket yarn, pulled it all together and was like, okay, I'm going to turn this all into a gnome. Hopefully I have enough to do what I want to do with it. Because blanket yarn is expensive, guys. I don't know if you guys have looked at the price of blanket yarn recently. Man, everything's getting more expensive, but it's ridiculous. But anyways, so I was like, okay, I'm going to use all my blanket yarn, and it's going to be a scrappy one. It's going to be a scrappy gnome, and I think that this is kind of perfect because if I went through and picked out specific colors for it, it would feel so like kind of locking myself into a color. And also I think scrappy is just very like Nova Gnome Creations. Like, I love scrappy stuff. I love mixing together colors, things like that. So I think that scrappy really works for this. And then also it's using what I have, which is also very Nova Gnome Creations, because I don't typically buy yarn for projects, like I've told you guys. Usually I come to my yarn store and I pick out yarn, and a lot of times I pick out yarn and let it inspire me to what I'm making. Sometimes I come over here with an idea in mind and I'm like, okay, looking for a specific yarn. What do I have that's kind of like what I have in my mind? Sometimes I see a yarn over here and I'm like, I want to use this. What does this want to be? What does this yarn want to grow up into? So I think using what I have on hand is also just very fitting. And then, you know, if I don't have enough blanket yarn, then I can, you know, go and pick out some other blanket yarn. But here's what my idea is. So I'm making a large gnome, but I'm going to make it all in pieces that can be detached. So what I'm thinking I'll do is I will have the body, basically work up. It's kind of difficult to explain unless you've made a gnome or seen how the gnomes are made. But, before you put the hat on, they're sort of just, kind of like a little cylinder type of shape. And then they kind of round off at the top a little bit. Where'd my stitch marker go? There it is. They kind of round off at the top a bit, and then when you do, you know, like all of your hair and whatever you're gonna do, and then you put your hat on and stuff up in your hat, or don't stuff up in your hat, depending on how you want to do it. It doesn't, like, the body doesn't kind of fill into the hat. But what I'm thinking, don't quote me yet, this is kind of growing, this idea is coming together as I go. But what I'm thinking I'll do is I will dome the top of the body, so it will be like a cylindrical body per usual, and it'll have, you know, its little feet on the front, and then I'm thinking it'll dome almost like a hat. Because what I think I want to do is make it so that I can make different hats for it. So I don't want to sew the hat on or attach the hat in a, you know, permanent kind of fashion. I want to make it so that I can customize it and like really do different outfits. I could make it little jackets, little dresses, things like that, because everything can come off. I'm thinking I will probably sew the arms on, and the feet on, but then I'm thinking like the hair, like if I'm doing braids or I'm doing a beard or whatever, I'm thinking I will have Velcro spots that are like up under where the hat goes, that like you can just Velcro on the beard, up where, you know, where it would go under the hat. Just have Velcro where the beard can go on, or like Velcro on the sides where the braids can Velcro on and hang out from under the hat. And that will make it so that it's more customizable, because I can change the beard and change the braids and things like that, which means I could actually change it from like a girl looking gnome to a guy looking gnome also. And then I could change the hat, like I said, and I could change the outfits. So I'm thinking that this could be a really fun way to do it, to use Velcro, to attach certain parts of it. Now I'm thinking I'll attach the arms and the feet because they'll be relatively stationary. I think, I don't know, should everything be Velcroed like on? Like, because then I could change the color for everything. Like I could change the feet, I could change the arms or the gloves. Basically, I'm thinking if I'm making it like clothing, it can go over the arms, you know what I mean? So like I don't necessarily need the arms to be able to come off. But I don't know. That's something to consider. Let me know what you guys think. We'll do one more round. Let me know what you guys think about, like, should everything be detachable? But I'm so excited about this idea. It is just a really big idea though, and I can't work on the body while sitting like at my desk or something where I normally crochet, because it is just big. It is too big. I've been working on it like when we're watching TV or something. But the thing is, I don't really watch TV all that often. I honestly, I spend a lot of time at my desk, and like my hobbies revolve around that type of sitting usually. I don't usually sit in my bed or on the couch that often, but I need to like make a little bit more time. I do have shows that I want to watch, so what I should probably do is start watching some shows and setting aside time in the evenings to not play video games or not, you know, watch YouTube at my desk and crochet or whatever, you know, like kind of carve out time to get it done quicker than I am currently. 'Cause it does just take a little bit of different setups than I'm used to. But speaking of shows, you guys, if you have not seen the new Fallout show on Amazon Prime, watch it. It is so good, especially if you like Fallout. If you like the video game Fallout, you are gonna love it. This is like the best adaptation I've ever seen of a video game into a TV show. Like, oh my gosh. And season 2 is already confirmed. That is what I have been working on or watching while I was working on the part of the gnome I've done so far. So, I am using burlap blanket yarn, for the most part. Actually, I believe the black that I'm using right now might be Big Twist Plush. or something like that. I'm literally using what I have on hand. So for the most part, it's Bernat blanket yarn. In the bottom of this, I've got Bernat baby blanket yarn. This is like the neons. This one is baby blanket sparkle. I don't know if you'll be able to tell that it's sparkly. Like I said, my lighting is a little lackluster down here. And then this one is like a variegated one. And then I just started in a new variegated one. You can see right here the kind of rosish color coming in. And then I was like, I'm gonna do the feet because I'm planning on doing the feet in black and the hands in black, like they're wearing gloves. But I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough of this black yarn to do that, so I might have to do the feet in it and do the hands in a different color. And then I'm also going to be doing sleeves, and that's the reason that I was like, maybe I should figure out what I'm doing as far as like, do I have enough black to do the hands? Because I would like to do the sleeves in similar colors to the body. I kind of divided up my yarn based on the colors, so I'm doing like pinks and oranges and stuff like that in the body, and then the hat, you know, unless this is all subject to change as I'm going, but for the most part I used a whole skein of the orange like neon, a whole skein of the baby blanket pink baby blanket sparkle, but anyway, the hat will be yellows because I have at least one full skein, and I think maybe even two full skeins of the like sunshine or whatever baby blanket sparkle. It's like a light yellow, and then I also have like a mustardy yellow. I think probably just regular Bernat baby blanket yarn, not the sparkle. So I'm thinking I'll do like yellows for the hat, just to like, I don't know, I'm kind of color planning my scrappiness. Mostly because I wanted to have the colors kind of mixed in, and I don't know, I didn't want to put like all the same colors next to each other, and I wanted it to like really get the full scrappy, stripy effect, you know? Starting to decrease on here now. But I am using a 10mm crochet hook. This is one of my favorite crochet hooks. This black yarn has like fuzzies of other yarn stuck all over it, so I'm just like constantly pulling them off. But I am using a 10mm, which is honestly pretty big for what I'm doing. This is not the tightest knit, or I always like, I'm like, is the word knit still when you're talking about, like, you know what I'm talking about, where like you're talking about where you're talking about how like, I don't know, the fabric is like building up. In my brain, I always still like, my brain just defaults to the knit of it. Like, it's not the tightest knit, the tightest weave. I don't know. I guess the tightest crochet. I don't know why my brain just wants to call it knit. But anyway, this is one of my favorite crochet hooks. This is the 10mm bamboo handle from Hobby Lobby. This is the only one that I like from this line. So I've told this story before, but in case you have not heard it, I love this hook. This is one of the first hooks that I got that wasn't just like a boy hook. Boy. Yeah, boy. I don't know. It's like, my brain was like, Boyd? I don't know why. And probably because it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. Anyway, this was one of the first hooks I got that wasn't just that. It might have even been the first hook. And I loved it so much. And so when Hobby Lobby was running their sale, at one point I went in and like stocked up on some of these bamboo handled hooks. Well, come to find out when I went to use them that I don't like the other ones, because I like my crochet hooks to have the ergonomic part go higher up. So this like middle of the crochet hook, where like the size of the crochet hook is written on here, I like my ergonomic handle to go up past that and end up here. Because of the way I hold my hook when I'm actually crocheting, my hand isn't like way down here for a lot of it, it's up here. But for this particular hook, that doesn't matter because it's very thick. Like, you can tell that this hook is basically the same thickness as the ergonomic part. So for this particular hook, it's very comfy. But then the other little bamboo handled ones, the ergonomic grip doesn't go all the way up, and they're very, very skinny little tiny aluminum crochet hooks, and I want more ergonomic handle than that. But yeah, so this is my plan. I think have I filled you guys in on the whole plan? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I have. Oh yeah, I was telling you, it's not the tightest crochet, but I'm not going to be stuffing this super, super densely, because it's huge. It's just not going to be super densely stuffed. Also, I wanted it to be a comfy project. Like, since it's such a big project, I wanted it to be comfy, and blanket yarn with a 10mm hook is super comfy for me, like, feel wise, and it's not so loose that, like, you can see through the stitches a ton. You can see right there, you can, like, kind of see through it if I'm pulling on it, but like I said, if I'm not stuffing it super tightly, I don't think it'll be a problem. So that's why I went ahead and just used the 10mm hook anyways. But yeah, so that is my gnome of the month. If you're new here and you haven't been around for Gnome of the Month before, very, very rarely do I not finish my gnome. I think this is only the second time that I've ever not finished my gnome for Gnome of the Month. But this is a really big project, and I wanted to give it, like, everything that I wanted to give it, I guess. Like, and it did occur to me, like, I could scale it back as I'm, like, was running out of time. I could just scrap it all together. Nobody knows what I was doing. I could just do something else. And I'm like, no, I really want to do this, though. So sometimes you just got to take a little bit longer with it. And I have a lot of other projects that I do at the same time, and a lot of other things going on, and whatever. So, you know, it'll get done when it gets done. So I am still working on this. I don't know how I want to do it. If I want this to be next month's Gnome of the Month also, and then hopefully I have it done by the end of next month, I would hope. Or if I want to do a different gnome for Gnome of the Month next month, because I kind of want to do like a spring gnome or something, and then just have this also going on, and I will update you guys maybe on Gnome of the Month, or I could just update you guys like whenever. Let me know what you guys think about that. Water. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments. Do you think I should have this be next month's gnome, or just update you guys on next month's Gnome of the Month, but also be doing a different gnome, or do a different gnome and update you guys just randomly during other videos? What do you think? I'm kind of leaning towards the middle option of updating you guys on Gnome of the Month on it, and hopefully having it finished, but also doing another gnome, because I kind of want to do like a springy gnome, you know? I like springy gnomes. They're so fun and like happy vibes, colorful, flowery, like that kind of thing. But anyways, I have all of your guys' gnomes to show off. So if you don't know about Gnome of the Month, I know it's kind of late for you to join in this time, but just letting you know for like future reference. I usually come on here the first Saturday of the month and the last Saturday of the month. The first Saturday of the month, I just tell you guys what my plans are for my gnome that month. It just depends on the month, on what I'm doing, about how much info I give you. Sometimes I tell you every detail. Sometimes I have a drawing that I've made to go along with my idea. Sometimes I'm following a pattern. Sometimes I'm going to make a crochet along and do like a little like series of videos. But then the last Saturday of the month, I come back and I don't tell you anything throughout the month about my Gnome of the Month. I don't show it to you. I don't tell you how it's going, really. Well, I might like be like, hey, it's taking a long time or something, but I don't like show you anything. And then I come back and I have the big reveal and I show it to you and I tell you all about it and, you know, give you the lowdown. And then I also, more importantly, or equally importantly, show you guys what you guys have been up to. So throughout the month, you guys can send in pictures of your gnomes that you make to my email, which is in the description box below this video, but it is novagnomecreations@gmail.com. You can send in your updates at any point in time, any day of time of day. I almost said day of night. Any time of day, rain or shine, whatever. Just put in your subject line of your email, Gnome of the Month. I have a hair behind my glasses. There it is. Put in the subject line of your email, Gnome of the Month. There we go. I got it. Okay. Gnome of the Month in your subject line. Attach your pictures. You can send in as many gnomes as you would like to. It does not have to be crochet. It can be any crafty medium. And then other than that, the only thing I require is you to tell me your name. It can be your real name, it could be your full name, it could be just your first name, your last initial, it could be literally whatever you want to go by. It could be a pseudonym, I can tell your YouTube channel, like whatever. And then when I put together this video, after I'm done showing you guys what my gnome is looking like, well, usually what it looks like, and it's done, I show off your guys' gnomes. So I am going to get into my email, get your guys' gnomes out, try to make sure I find all of them, because I did release the pocket peen gnome pattern this past month, and so I got pocket peens in community spotlights as well, but I would really like to include all of those gnomes in Gnome of the Month, so I'm going to try to find them all. Yes, and then also reminder that today is the Hooker versus Hooker live stream for the project announcement. So I'm going to find out what I'm going to be making. It's going to be a live stream over on Mad Mimi's Crochet and Farming channel. I will link it in my community tab, and you can go click it from there, and you can turn on notifications so that you know when it starts. But it will be starting at 5 p.m. Central Time. So you can translate that if you're not Central. I'm pretty sure that I translated that correctly from Alaskan time. I think it's going to be 5 p.m. Central. But either way, the live stream will have a timer on it and everything, so you'll know. But yeah, head over there if you are so inclined, if you want to see me live, and see what we're up to. We're going to be doing that little Hooker versus Hooker thing that I've been telling you guys about. So wish me luck. Hopefully it's something that I'm good at. If not, you know, we'll work with it. It'll be a challenge. Anyways, guys, let's see your gnomes. Let's see what you guys have been up to. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Thank you for hanging out with me during April. We are going to be in May soon. So it's coming up soon. We're going to be having Gnome of the Month for May. And I really am leaning towards doing another gnome. I think so. All right, guys. I hope you have a beautiful day. And let's see your guys' gnomes.